So, first aid for motorcyclists. How many of you know, really know what to do in the unfortunate event of a bike crash? I've got my first aid certificates and that. But yeah, when my best friend came off her bike in front of me, she did a full Superman thing. She overtook me, came to a corner. I don't know whether she went in too hot or what. It all happened in a split second. 1 minute I saw her, I waved her past. She went past me. She only got a few yards down the road. All of a sudden her arse end just slid out. She was doing a Superman flying thing over the bars. Her and the bike went down an embankment. I don't know how many times she rolled. Her knee ended up being embedded in a barbed wire fence, and her head just missed this massive bloody gum tree by a couple of inches. So that could have been fatal. I had no idea what to do. She was laying on the ground. I remember I had it all on video, and I remember pulling up. I just left my bike running. I put it on the side stand. I went running over towards her, and I was yelling her name. It was like, Danny! And it was all in slow motion. It was like, what the fuck? I put my hand on her chest, and I was just checking to see if she was okay. I didn't want to touch her arms or legs in case they were broken. So I just kept on putting my hand in the middle of her chest. It's like, it's okay, Danny, blah, 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 as you do when you just see an accident happen. Still to this day, she thought I was touching her up. It's like, no, I fucking wasn't. But yeah, it was really scary. She started coming to. She was freaking out and screaming to get her fucking helmet off. And, everyone knows, do not take off a helmet of someone who's just been in a motor vehicle accident. And she was screaming. She had to get it off. So I know it was the wrong thing to do. She was moving her arms and legs, so we thought, okay, it doesn't seem to be much damage there. So a friend held her head in between her feet while we tried to do her helmet. It was scary, to say the least. Her bike had a tree embedded in it. And that was very, very hard to try and get it out. So it showed that person is cleaning their teeth. That's funny. Sorry. It just goes to show how quick things can happen. And I saw another video last night on Facebook, and there was this young guy and his mate. They were on the road. They'd stopped at lights, getting ready to turn the corner. His mate turns in first because he's in the left-hand lane, and then all of a sudden this car isn't giving way and plows straight through him. And the guy had exactly the same reaction as me. It's like, oh fuck. His mate was laying there on the ground. Yeah, it's scary stuff. I've had quite a few friends lost recently from motorbike accidents. It's hard to deal with, and I'm thinking, okay, I was just a friend. What are their families going through? And it's terrifying to actually think, you know, that, well, very uneven bit of road there. It's terrifying to think that, yeah, anything can happen. Like this, for instance. Dickheads wanting to pull in front. Excuse me. So, yeah, back to the subject. Would you know exactly what to do? Gravel and stuff on the road. I was lucky. There wasn't much blood in my friend's accident. What happens if the accident that you're witnessing or you come across is really bad? What happens if your friend has lost a limb? It's a terrible thought, but what would you do? You know, we seriously have to think about stuff like this. I'm going to the really big first aid for motorcyclists course that they hold all around Australia. From memory it was $78. I've got friends here in SA who are putting on a very similar course. They've got the emergency staff coming in from the trauma unit to give us lessons. They're going to show us how to remove helmets safely. All these different things that we would need to know. Yeah, I seriously recommend that if you care for any of your riders, that, you know, just people you know, even if you don't ride, could you do the right thing if you came across an accident? Now, I've got to get over this side because I remember the road is fucked. So yeah, could you do what is needed in the unfortunate event of an accident? Please do yourself a favour, do your mates a favour. Go and enrol now. These small private lessons that my friends are doing, $20 a person. See if you can organise it in your state, in your country. You know, get together with people in the hospital. It's worth it. It really is. You know, I'd like to know that if I came off, that someone knew what to do to help me.